The heavy rain poured relentlessly as lightning crashed across the midnight sky. In an old, decrepit mansion on the outskirts of town, an orphanage was said to have stood for centuries. Legend had it that the building was cursed, haunted by the spirits of the orphans who perished there, seeking revenge on the living. It was believed to be the most terrifying place within miles. One stormy night, 5 curious teenagers decided to test the legends and explore the infamous orphanage. As they approached the entrance, a bolt of lightning illuminated the mansion, casting eerie shadows on its broken windows. The group shivered, their unease growing with every step. Mike, the bravest among them, mustered up the courage to open the creaky front door, revealing a long, dark hallway. A gust of wind blew, slamming the door shut behind them. "Wow, it's freezing in here," Lisa exclaimed, wrapping her arms around herself. "I can't believe we're actually doing this." "Yeah, well, if there's such thing as ghosts, we'll find them here," Mike said with a smirk, trying to appear fearless. Time seemed to creep as they moved further into the orphanage. Every step echoed in the silence. Suddenly, a whispering voice filled the air, sending shivers down their spines. "Did anyone else hear that?" Jake asked, his voice quivering. "Probably just the wind," Sarah said, her attempt to sound confident failing miserably. The group arrived at the abandoned playroom, littered with old toys and crumbling furniture. As they explored, they stumbled upon a dusty, cracked mirror hanging on the wall. "Hey, guys, check this out," Emma called out, drawing everyone's attention to the mirror. They gathered around, each of their reflections distorted by the mirror's wear and tear. Suddenly, the mirror shattered into pieces, and a cold gust of wind blew through the room. "What the hell just happened?" Mike exclaimed, taking a step back. Through the broken glass, they caught a glimpse of the orphanage's tragic past. Ghostly figures of children appeared, their eyes hollow, filled with sorrow and anger. "We have to get out of here," Lisa shouted, fear taking hold of her. As they rushed towards the exit, a door slammed shut, trapping them in the room. "This can't be happening," Jake cried out, panic consuming him. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the room, chilling them to the bone. "You trespassers will suffer the same fate we did." Trembling, Sarah mustered up the courage to speak. "We didn't mean any harm. We were just curious." The ghostly figure of a little girl emerged from the shattered mirror. "Curiosity killed the cat, and so it shall kill you," she whispered, her voice hauntingly melancholic. Emma, tears streaming down her face, pleaded with the ghost. "Please, we didn't mean any harm. Is there anything we can do?" The little girl's expression softened for a moment, as if contemplating their plea. "You must find our lost possessions and return them to us. Only then will you be free." Determined to survive, the group nodded, ready to face the horrors that awaited them. With newfound courage, they split up and ventured into the depths of the orphanage, searching for the belongings that could save their lives. Mike found himself in the dusty attic, surrounded by forgotten cribs and broken toys. As he rummaged through the debris, he stumbled upon a small teddy bear covered in cobwebs. He reached for it, but was suddenly startled by a baby's laugh that echoed through the attic. Mike froze, his heart racing, as the laughter grew louder and closer. "Who's there?" he called out, fighting to keep his voice steady. From the shadows emerged a spectral figure of a baby, its eyes glowing with malice. "You found my bear," it giggled, sending chills down Mike's spine. Lisa found herself in the dimly lit basement. The air was heavy with a putrid smell, as if something had rotting for centuries. She shivered, determined to find what she sought. She stumbled upon a rusty key hidden beneath an overturned table. As she picked it up, eerie whispers filled her ears, telling tales of darkness and despair. "What do you want from me?" Lisa demanded, her voice trembling. The whispers grew louder, forming into a sinister voice. I want you to suffer as I have suffered. Your torment brings me joy. Sarah found herself in the desolate kitchen. Its once vibrant colors faded with time. She searched the cabinets, finding a worn-out porcelain doll. As soon as she held it, the doll came to life, its eyes glowing red. I've been waiting for you, it whispered, its voice cold and emotionless. Fear etched across her face. Sarah asked, "Why me? What have I done?" The doll cackled, sending shivers down her spine. You've awakened me. Now, you'll become part of my collection forever. Emma found herself in a forgotten library, shelves filled with decaying books and tattered pages. She stumbled upon an old journal lying on a desk, covered in dust. As she opened it, the words upon the pages came alive, floating in the air. You've discovered my secrets, a voice whispered, echoing through the library. Emma, her voice shaky, asked, "What is it that you want from me?" The voice grew louder and more menacing. I want to trap you in these pages, so you'll never escape my grasp. As the group reconvened in the dusty playroom, they placed the ghostly possessions they found in front of the shattered mirror. Suddenly, a blinding light consumed the room, and the ghostly children appeared once again. You have returned our treasures. You may leave this place alive, the little girl spoke, her voice carrying a mix of relief and sadness. As the group hurried towards the exit, the ghost children watched them with hollow eyes, tears streaming down their transparent faces. Just as they reached the front door, it slammed shut, sealing them inside. The ghost children's voices filled the air once more. We thank you for your kindness. We shall always remain here, forever seeking peace, they whispered in unison. The group huddled together, their hearts pounding as the ghostly voices faded away. Suddenly, the front door opened, allowing them to escape the haunted orphanage. As they stepped out into the stormy night, they realized that their lives had changed forever. No longer would they take legends and tales of haunted places lightly. I can't believe we made it out alive, Jake said, relief flooding his voice. It was close, but we did it, Mike replied, his voice a mix of exhaustion and triumph. Lisa looked back at the mansion, now shrouded in darkness and mystery. We'll never forget what happened here. It's a story we'll carry with us forever. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but the memory of the ghostly orphanage refused to fade. The group remained haunted by their experience, forever changed by the horrors they witnessed. As the years passed, the group went their separate ways, but they stayed connected by the bond they forged through fear and survival. One evening, Sarah received an invitation from Emma, requesting a reunion at the old mansion. Curiosity got the better of her, and she agreed to revisit the place that had haunted their nightmares. Sarah arrived at the mansion, the familiar feeling of unease creeping in. She entered, finding Emma waiting for her in the dusty playroom, fear etched across her face. What's going on? Sarah asked, concern coloring her voice. Emma pointed towards the shattered mirror. Look, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. Sarah turned around to find their reflections distorted in the cracked glass. As she watched, the mirror slowly began to repair itself, piece by piece. Suddenly, the room filled with the ghostly children, their faces filled with sorrow and longing. The little girl who had spoken to them before approached Emma and Sarah. You've returned, she said, her voice a faint whisper in the wind. Emma, her voice choked with emotion, spoke. We couldn't forget you. We couldn't forget what we went through. The little girl's eyes sparkled with gratitude, her ghostly form fading away. Thank you for remembering. May you find peace in our memories. As the specters vanished, the room returned to its eerie silence. Emma and Sarah felt a weight lifted off their shoulders, a closure they never thought they would find. We did it, Sarah said, a mix of relief and sadness in her voice. We finally brought them peace. In the years that followed, the group of friends discovered a newfound purpose: to seek out haunted places and help the trapped spirits find peace. They formed a team, offering hope to those who had none. As they traveled from one ghostly encounter to another, they encountered terrifying apparitions, yet never feared them. They had faced true horror and survived. Their own experiences served as a reminder of the courage they possessed. One day, on their quest to help a restless spirit find peace, they stumbled upon an old inn shrouded in mystery. As they stepped into the dimly lit lobby, a voice from behind the counter jolted them. "Are you here to free me from this eternal torment?" A spectral figure asked, its voice filled with pain. "Yes," Lisa replied, determination in her voice. "We are here to help you cross over." Grateful, the spirit led them to the room where it had taken its last breath. It spoke of unfinished business, of a loved one left behind. The group listened intently, focused on uncovering the truths that would set the spirit free. They searched old archives, spoke to the living, and even braved interactions with other restless spirits. Finally, they discovered what the spirit had been longing to hear. The group was able to reunite the spirit with its loved one, bringing closure and peace to both the living and the dead. With each success, their reputation as paranormal investigators grew. They became experts at helping spirits move on, offering solace to those trapped in the realms between life and death. As the years passed, their stories became widely known. They were known as the Ghost Seekers, a team of fearless individuals who faced the supernatural with bravery and compassion. Their encounters ranged from benevolent spirits longing for resolution to malevolent entities seeking to wreak havoc. But through it all, they remained steadfast in their mission, to bring peace to those lost in the realm of the unknown. Even as they aged, their determination never wavered. Ghosts were no longer just figures of fiction or childhood tales. They were living proof that the boundary between the living and the dead was often blurred. Jake, the last remaining member of the original group, found himself in an old mental asylum, his heart heavy with the weight of countless souls trapped within its walls. As he walked through the desolate halls, he heard whispers, cries, and laughter that echoed from every corner. It was a symphony of tortured souls yearning for release. Jake knew that this would be his final challenge. He had seen it all, faced unimaginable horrors, and brought solace to countless spirits. He couldn't rest until he freed every last one of them. With courage etched on his face, he called out to the spirits, "I am here to set you free. Show me the way." Shadows danced on the walls as the spirits guided him, leading him to the heart of the asylum. There, he discovered an ancient artifact hidden away for centuries. With the artifact in hand, Jake channeled his strength and released a burst of energy that reverberated through the asylum. One by one, the trapped spirits found their way to the light, their smiles of gratitude illuminating the darkness. As the final spirit crossed over, the asylum was filled with a sense of peace that hadn't been felt in centuries. Jake knew his mission was complete. He had brought solace to all. With a sigh of contentment, Jake stepped out of the asylum, the weight of his years a distant memory. He looked up at the sky, watching as the sun broke through the clouds, illuminating the world around him. The Ghost Seekers had carried out their purpose, their legacy forever imprinted on the restless spirits they had helped. And in that moment, Jake smiled, knowing that their stories would be told for generations to come.